Another year, another Christmas, and there's no point beating around the bush. This year's Christmas idents are downright bad. I take no pleasure whatsoever in saying that. It seems as if the kind of Christmas idents I eulogised about in the Christmas wrapping documentaries are now a part of the past. You just can't put in that much effort purely for its own sake in this day and age. This sort of painstaking and utterly adorable work would need to be justified by a line graph, or at the very least a pie chart, explaining who it's targeted to. You can't just make it because it's nice and would make people happy. No, you have to overthink it.
There once was
In
a
that spirit,
sprout with love
BBC One have given us
looking for friends to
Sprout
spend Christmas
Boy.
with. A baker he met whilst out and about said, "I love Christmas pudding and would not go without, but nobody ever liked a sprout." The toy maker was next to fill him with doubt. "I love Christmas gifts," she was heard to shout, "but nobody ever liked a sprout." Soon a burly woodcutter, short and stout, said, "I love Christmas trees and I always sell out, but nobody ever liked a sprout." Then a voice said, "Come join us," inviting him in. "Take a seat, the fun is about to begin. Together as one is what it's about, and at Christmas everyone loves a sprout. For Christmas together, BBC One."
No. I can't deny that Sprout Boy is adorable and everything, but the trouble is, he's adorable as a defence mechanism against the fact that his concept is stupid, not to mention patronising. Anything this obviously calculated can't help but be patronising. So it's no great surprise to discover that this campaign wasn't made by the BBC in-house, or even by Red Bee Media, their usual go-to graphic designers, but by an advertising agency. Specifically Young and Rubicon, or rather their British arm, who were named after a spilled bowl of alphabetti spaghetti, which is actually one of the things they advertise, but never mind that. The thing is, you can't fault these idents for effort, and the quasi-Edwardian streets with the lanterns hanging from the trees, and the truly gorgeous CGI shots of a snowbound cityscape are genuinely lovely and make for much better idents than anything involving Sprout Boy. And even he could have made for a perfectly good mascot if they weren't beating us over the head with him. As it is, it's so aggressively targeted and marketed that it just comes across as kind of cold and even unapproachable, which is the exact opposite of what they're actually going for. He'd be much better off advertising Morrison. It doesn't help that the ident package it's a part of is positively elderly by television presentation standards, now less than a year away from an unprecedented full decade of service, and no obvious end in sight since Britain somehow managed to re-elect an overtly hostile Conservative government. Even transferring their half of the Formula 1 rights to Channel 4 hasn't made up all of the savings they need to make. It wouldn't surprise me if BBC One has a new look by this time next year, but it would surprise me even less if it doesn't. This is even worse news for BBC Two, who haven't had a coherent look for some time. After some of the classic Bladed 2 idents were dusted off for the channel's 50th anniversary last year, some sort of existential crisis seems to have taken hold, and BBC Two never dropped them, looking for all the world like an ageing star trying to recapture the glory days of its late 20s and early 30s. Now Christmas is upon us, they appear to have had a complete breakdown, reduced to sitting in the corner, rocking back and forth, repeating their name over and over again, while staring at old home movies of when they were thin and successful. Frankly, they need a revamp more than BBC One do. It doesn't help that both BBC channels unveiled their Christmas looks earlier than ever before, December the 1st. effectively detonating the entire concept of anticipation. At least the Scots have the right idea. It's cute and all, but it's not trying to make you go at gunpoint, like Sprout Boy.
Achrona sin eisig sin me yin púrich in Jagéine an Catalonia sailse.
ITV haven't even added anything new to the rotation this year, unless you counted this woolen animated version of one of their regular idents that they created for the modern day telethon Text Santa. So surprisingly enough, it's Channel 4 who come out on top this Christmas. I wasn't expecting them to do anything, having only recently adopted the most inscrutable, avant-garde and disturbing ident package in British history. But no, this is the most involved they've been with Christmas since 1996 at least, with their tumbling, twirling blocks motif being used to represent falling snow, or the face of a snowman, or some extremely festive sets of Christmas lights. It doesn't even bother me, at this point, that we'll obviously be seeing these ad nauseum every year for most of the next decade until Channel 4 change their idents again. Coming in a close second is UTV, who by next Christmas might very well be known as ITV1 Ulster. Mind you, there's a non-zero chance that within a decade, ITV itself might be known as NBC UK. So it's all relative. Oh, and the Radio Times is okay. I mean, even if you overlook the theatrical motion picture that it's promoting on the cover there is still an element of default about just going with Aardman again, but it results in a charming enough cover. The main thing about it is just how colossal it's got at this point, to the extent that this is the first Radio Times to actually have a spine. It's just too thick to simply staple together. In fact, it's approaching the point of unsustainability. This is also the most expensive Radio Times ever, at £4 English, and I've seen more than one person this year make a note of that price and give up on the magazine altogether. When the Radio Times dies, a bit of Britain dies with it. All in all then, a pretty poor year. In this insanely competitive age, there's simply no room for the love of aesthetics for their own sake. And not just at Christmas, when existence itself is a race and second place is death. Art is an unacceptable risk. It doesn't have to be that way.
And it wouldn't be Christmas without you. Can't fool me, I know it's true. Merry Christmas, Merry la la la.
Toot 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 toot.